Sup nerds, you guys want to see a dead body? Today we have ShineGreymon versus Ravemon. Ben starts off by hatching and then evoing into his Falcomon. I hatch my Coromon. And then I hard play my Marcus for 4 to give him 2. So we actually both mulliganed our hands to start this game. So we're being forced to play with our second hand. So he plays an analog. I for some reason thought that passed turn and went to draw my card. Then he evos into the Chromon, which Ben says is the wrong Chromon because that's the one that requires your tamer to be purple in order to activate its effect evo into Ravemon. So I hard play my Geo, see if I can get something going if he doesn't out it on his turn. And he plays Crier, and I have the option of discarding a tamer an option to where he doesn't gain memory draw a card, so I discard a Marcus. So I can go ahead and keep him from popping off on me. So I pay 1 for Marcus at the beginning of my turn. Swing with Marcus, evo into Rise for free, activate Rise. Play Marcus, activate Marcus, tap him, minus 3k and gain a memory. And I actually check a small Digimon, so we actually survive with our Marcus. Then I evo into Rise X for 1. I can't play a tamer, but I do minus 4k on the Chromon, which does finish it off. So he triggers the deletion effects. So I have to discard 2 cards. So I discard Geo and Ruin Mode since I don't even have a Mega in my hand, so Ruin Mode's not going to happen anytime soon. And then he triggers Analog Youth and his other on deletion to gain 2 memory, so it passes turn. And he evos into his other Falcomon. Then evos into Peckmon. And then he evos into another Chromon to pass me to 3. I can't really pop off super hard unless I somehow draw into a ShineGreymon. But I go ahead and trigger Marcus since there's no reason not to. So I pay 1 for Marcus. And I swing with him for 3k, no effects. He does die, so I get to recover off the Rise Gray Inheritable. And then I swing for 9k with Rise X, he does survive. And then evo into Geo for 3 to pass him to 1. I assume the Rise X is going to die on his turn, that's why I did that. Because most of the Ravemon decks play that Amun-Ra card or whatever. But he actually doesn't, he just evos into Ravemon to pass turn. So I swing again for 9k, it does die. And then I play a TK to give him 1 memory, and take a look for my missing piece, and that would be my ShineGreymon. This does choke him to 1. I ask Ben if he wants a cut, and he does actually cut. Alright, so he pushes out. He swings and checks the only Marcus that was in my security that he cut to the top of the deck. Thank you, Ben. Very cool. So he burst modes here into the Ravemon burst mode by picking up Keen and Crier. He gets to look at my hand and then trash 1 card. He trashes a level 5. And then I add a card from my security to my hand. And then he Amun-Ra's his Ravemon and triggers his other on deletions. His Analog Youth hatches. He plays a dude back out that's a blocker. His little Peckmon. And then he accidentally grabs his Peckmon when he's putting everything in his trash. And he just puts it back out there. Alright. So I draw. And thankfully the card I added from my security stack to my hand, as well as the card I drew for turn of the same card, they both allow me to lethal him this turn, despite the fact that he hit the level 5 in my hand. So I promote Geo, gain a memory, pay it back for Marcus. And his option only interacts with level Digimon, so I swing with Geo first. He chooses not to block, and I minus 2k on it from my Kudamon Inheritable. Check a Digimon die. And then I hard play Agumon, turn the other Marcus into Digimon, and then swing for a 3k, and then minus 3k on his blocker to delete it. I actually had 3 checks, so it didn't matter that I was able to delete his blocker before I swung the second time. But I went ahead and just did that, just to show him that it was lethal, just to save time. But I did game 1. I got down to a pretty small hand size, unfortunately, and he was able to stop me from womboing by looking at my hand and taking out an integral piece. So Ben forces me to go first for game 2. I think his hope is that I brick and miss pieces, but I hatch an Evo into Agumon for 1 to choke him to 1. He hatches Evos into his Falcomon. So this matchup's actually pretty interesting for Shine. So he plays a Keenan Crier again. He gives me the option of discarding an option or a Tamer. I don't choose it, so he draws a card and gains memory. Then I play TK for 4, give him 3. Add my Geo out of my security. Ask him if he wants to cut my security again to put a Marcus Damon on top, and he passes this time. LOL. The Evo's into Kinkakumon for 2. And then plays a Keenan Crier Memory Setter for 4 to set me to my 3 memory. So I promote Evo into Geo for 2, and then play Marcus for free since I don't have one. And then Evo into Rise for 3, and then play another Marcus, and then he goes to 3. So I'm hoping he doesn't out my stack, because if he doesn't, I can probably pop off. But there's a decent chance he does if he has the Amon-Ra card in his hand. So Evo's into Chromon. And then he Amon-Ra's to out my stack and delete his stack. Triggers all of his own deletions. Makes me trash 1 card in my hand. Thankfully I get the choice here. He doesn't get to look at it like burst mode. So I discard the extra level 5 I have in my hand, then go to 3 for my TK. He doesn't get to play out a dude at the end of my turn, so we both get reset here. So I should be able to prepare lethal quicker than he can. Hard play my Agu. This matchup, since ShineGreymon actually can't really interact with Ravemon since it's always hiding in trash, is actually pretty tricky for Shine. You have to outspeed the Ravemon deck before they can kill you. Which, as long as you don't brick, it should be pretty easy because Ravemon has no way of like adding security checks if you just build Ravemon Tribal. So like they're a little too slow in order, like they can't really combat with your speed, unfortunately. If they could though, they actually would be a very good deck because being able to hide in their trash at the end of all of their turns or on your opponent's turn is actually really strong. Alright, so I promote. I gain a memory from Geo and then pay 2 back for both my Marcuses. I swing with the first Marcus, Evo into Rise for free, and then play another Marcus for free. I do survive the check, nice. Then I swing with the other Marcus, Evo into Shine for free, suspend both my Tamers, then trigger the other Marcus Evo into Ruin mode for free. And the second Marcus actually dies, so I get to recover it. I swing with Shine, he survives the check and then deletes himself end of attack, so I recover 1 and hatch. And now Ben has minus 10k on his field until the end of his turn. So he's not going to be able to promote his stack, or it's just going to die. So I basically just set up to where like he's not going to be able to interact with my board. Because their option has to pop one of their guys in order to pop one of your guys. I basically just set up a board to lethal him on the following turn that he can't handle. So he goes into Chromon. And then plays an Analog Youth. Adds his only target. Alright. Let's see if I can kill him. So I promote. Pay 2 memory for both Marcuses. Swing with Marcus. Evo into Shine. Now the Marcus is like 20k effective for 2 checks, and I kill him. So GG's to Ben. This is a terrible matchup for Ravemon, as long as the ShineGreymon player doesn't brick. But I do appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe and do this kind of content. I want to come back for more. But until next time, see ya.